Today we're going to be talking about reflectional and rotational symmetry. A figure has reflectional symmetry, also called a line of symmetry, when a figure has a line over which points map or match onto themselves. So think about cutting something in half and it being exactly the same on both sides in such a way that you could fold it in half and it would be the exact same shape. Let's take a look at rotational symmetry. So a figure has rotational symmetry when a figure can turn around a pivot point and map onto itself at less than 360 degrees. So let's look at this example and let's draw some lines of reflectional symmetry. So this shape is a hexagon because it has 6 sides, and we want to see if there's any places where we can fold it in half and it would map onto each other. So if I draw a line of symmetry down the center, and if I were to fold this half over to this half, it would match exactly onto the other side. The same would be true right here. So if I drew another line of symmetry, I can take this end and fold it over to this end, and this side would match exactly to this side. I can draw another line of symmetry from here to here, folding the shape in half across this line, and then this side would map over this side perfectly. The next line of rotational symmetry would be cutting it in half long ways. That would be the fourth line of rotational symmetry. There would be another one right here. This would be the fifth line of rotational symmetry. And then the last one would be at this last bottom corner. And you know that this is the last one because then I start back here, and that was my first line of symmetry. So this hexagon does have reflectional symmetry, and the number of lines of reflectional symmetry are the number of lines that we can draw where we can fold the shape and it matches or maps onto itself. So this figure would have 6 lines of reflectional symmetry. Let's look at the next example. So for example 1, we have a pentagon. So let's try and draw a line down the center. If I draw a line down the center, imagine folding this side over to the right side. Do you think that this shape has reflectional symmetry? The answer is yes, because this will fold onto itself. So let's look at this line. If I were to fold it in half along this line, that would be a second line of symmetry. And then you can fold it along this corner. So from the corner to the base, that would be the third line of reflectional symmetry. How many total lines do you think this shape will have? This shape will have a total of 5 lines of symmetry. I stopped here originally, and then if we draw a line from this side or this base of it to this vertice, it will fold this side exactly onto this side. And then from this vertice to this side right here, we'll fold this side on to this side. And then my next space would be back to my first line. So this one has 5 lines of reflectional symmetry. Let's look at the next example. It looks like we can draw a line down the center and then fold the left side over the right side, and we would have the left side map exactly onto the right side. It also appears that we could draw another line of symmetry here. So if I fold this side on this line over to this side, it would map exactly. How many total lines of reflectional symmetry do you think this shape has? This shape has a total of 4 lines of reflectional symmetry. So you can fold it in half along this line and then along this line, and then I'm back to where my first line was. Let's look at the rectangle. So this would be an example where you have down the middle is one line of symmetry, and then lengthwise would be another line of symmetry. And this would be an example where you can't draw a line of symmetry to the corners, because if I fold this corner to that corner, it's not going to match exactly. So the rectangle only has two lines of reflectional symmetry. Now let's look at examples of rotational symmetry. So remember, rotational symmetry is when a figure can turn around a pivot point and map onto itself. So we're going to put the pivot point right in the middle. So I want you to think about, if I start here and I want to turn this shape to here, would it look like the exact same shape if I rotated it one time? So if we rotated it, it would map exactly onto itself. So this triangle does have rotational symmetry. So now what we need to do is figure out the degree of rotational symmetry. So when you turn it one time, how many degrees are you turning it? So the easiest way to figure this out is to look at the vertices you have. You have 1, 2, 3 vertices. So if I'm rotating it in a circle, that's 360 degrees. So if I do 360 divided by the 3 vertices that you have, each turn is going to be 120 degrees. So if I start here and I turn it 120 degrees, that means that this corner would then be down here, but it would look the exact same. And then I can turn it here, another 120 degrees, and it would still map onto itself. And then another 120 degrees, and it would still look like the exact same triangle. So the degree of rotational symmetry would be 120 degrees. And we got that by taking the vertices, which were 3, and dividing that into 360. Another thing that might help you figure out if it has rotational symmetry is if you drew lines to the center or the pivot point. And if you look, all these shapes look the same. So when I turn it, it's still going to look the same. So let's try that in number 1. If I were to break these up into triangles, so let's put a pivot point in the middle. I can break this up into triangles. It looks like I would have 5 equal triangles. So if I were to rotate this top corner to this corner one time, the shape would map exactly onto itself. So let's just check to make sure this works. So I'm going to copy this shape. So here's my copy right here. And then if I rotate it, it looks like the exact same shape that I can map on to itself. So I just did one turn. Now if I do another turn, it looks like the exact same shape. So if I do another turn, it was the same. And we can continue rotating this shape as many times as we want, and each time I turn it, it's going to look the same. So how do I figure out the degree of rotational symmetry? All you have to do is 360 divided by how many vertices there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 360 divided by 5, that's going to give me 72 degrees. So each turn will be 72 degrees, and that will map the figure onto itself each time it's rotated. Now let's take a look at number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this just so I have another one right here. So if I turn it one time, I get the exact shape. So all I did was rotate this side to this side. So let's watch that again. So if I'm here and I make that top side rotate to the right side, you can see that it maps onto itself. So this one's going to be a little different because I'm not going to be counting these vertices like we did in the last two examples. Because if I just rotate it a little bit, it won't map exactly onto itself. So it's like we're trying to make this side match this side over here. So sometimes it kind of helps to rotate the shapes or maybe cut out a shape. If we had patty paper, I'd have you guys trace it. So this time, to determine the degree of rotational symmetry, we're going to be looking at the sides right here because these sides are what I'm paying attention to when I'm trying to rotate it to map onto itself. So this represented one turn. I can turn it again here, and then here, and then here. If I were to turn it 4 times, how many degrees of rotational symmetry would that be? For this one, if I do 360 divided by 4, that's equal to 90 degrees. So your answer would be 90 degrees because that would be 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. So each time I turned it 90 degrees and it mapped onto itself. Now let's take a look at number 3. So I'm going to copy it here. So here's my shape. If I rotate it 90 degrees, it doesn't map exactly onto itself. So I'd have to rotate it one more time to get it to map exactly to itself. So that was 2 rotations. So here was 1 rotation, 2 rotations. So what's the degree of rotational symmetry for that one? For the rectangle, you had to rotate it twice to get it to map onto itself. So 360 divided by 2 would be 180 degrees for the degree of rotational symmetry. For your summary, be sure to answer the essential question, which is how do you determine if a figure has reflectional and rotational symmetry?